So a lot of crazy stuff has happened very recently in Need for Speed lore, and if you don't know, first, that rock you've been living under, yeah, it's time to move, buddy. Need for Speed has gotten their 9th update, and it has brought quite a bit of controversy due to one single aspect, the bike. Before we get into opinions, can we all just take some time and give the dev team their props though? Yes, we are going to talk about the bike and what it may affect, but the fact that they even had the balls to do something like this is crazy to me. This is a huge gamble they decided to take, and if it pays off, Unbound will go down as the first Need for Speed ever to have a bike in their lineup and it be done successfully. I already think that Unbound is the best Need for Speed game of all time, and there is no comparison. Even if you like other games in the series, you gotta clap it up at least once for what Criterion has done for this upcoming volume. But to talk about the bike again, now me personally, I'm still on the fence about something like this because on one hand, I'm just as excited as the next person and I can't wait to try the Death Machine out and see how it handles. There is also a part of me that is dying to see what happens with a car, most likely one of those dumb AI Ford Raptors, smashes straight into the bike at 200 miles per hour, but we're going to leave those devious thoughts alone for now. However, the other side of me is starting to feel that bikes shouldn't even be in the game, and the addition of something like this so late into the game's life cycle feels like a last-ditch cop-out effort to save something that has been dying since release. Key word that I said in that sentence is feel. It is a feeling, not a fact. Keep that in mind. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion about the bike stuff, and in today's video, I will be talking about my own and a few concerns that I have. If you enjoy, make sure to go ahead and drop a like and subscribe. 800 subs is very, very close. I can almost taste the flavor of it. If you want me to say pause, I won't. And yes, I am still in my uniform recording this video, and yes, Facecam vids will be around way more. I just have to figure out a way to incorporate them for the commentary style videos that I do. For all videos about info and updates, yes, there will be a face cam. For the video about the volume patch notes that always drops with the in-game volumes, we will have a face cam for that. I am also thinking about having face cam for think piece videos as well, aka the videos where we break down a certain aspect of the game or the dev team. The videos discussing cars that suck and all that are not think piece videos. However, face cam seems to be very popular, and I'm all about making sure that this community is having fun and enjoying the content that I make, so it's here to stay. But anyway, let's talk about this bike. Do bikes even belong in Need for Speed? That is the biggest question that seems to be circling around the community, and the answer to that, nice and short, is in my opinion, we are just going to have to see. The update drops next week, so we do not have to wait long at all, and that is when we can all have a first-hand experience on if this was overall a good idea or not. But I cannot confidently come on this platform and say that bikes will ruin Need for Speed straight up. Even if I feel they could, it's simply a feeling. There is quite literally nothing to go off on and compare it to. How can you know something will ruin a game if it has never been done before? As stated by Criterion themselves, this is the first time bikes have been introduced into the series in general. Just because Crew Motorfest has bikes and they handle like absolute crap does not mean that the bike in Unbound will follow suit. Nobody knows if this will make Unbound or if it will break Unbound. The only thing we can really do at this point is trust that the devs did their research on how bikes actually perform in real life at high speeds and incorporated that somewhat into the game. There are a lot of things that the team needed to do to make sure adding this vehicle was a success, and those include making sure the hitbox is correct, making sure the bike can interact with other objects, mainly cars, and how the bike itself will handle, things like that. I personally think that in general, Unbound was a test to see what the dev team can get away with and what the community will tolerate. We have burst NOS now, the most powerful micro drifting we have ever seen, animations, and now bikes. It definitely seems the team wanted to have a platform to test things out on, and this may be it. All that to say that this bike could be the gateway to a whole new world that us in the Need for Speed community have never seen in the series before. It could start with this one bike, and the next thing you know, the next Need for Speed game has a whole section in the shop to buy different types of bikes and customize them in ways you can't even imagine. So we can't count out the bikes just yet. Those who feel they don't belong in Need for Speed, why? The most important thing that concerns me is how the team decided to make the bike handle and how it will interact with other vehicles. These two things concern me the most due to the fact that when you hit another car with your car in today's game, pre-Volume 9 update, every action your car takes after that for 3 to 4 seconds is completely messed up and irrelevant. Your car maybe won't turn correctly, you can't use burst NOS properly, your car just becomes out of whack. This happens in the smallest of instances too. I'm not talking about whether you crash or when you hit another car without the crash cam activating. I am talking about even the tiniest bumps between cars and other objects will cause this effect. We are all aware of that happening in game, and it sucks with cars that have 4 wheels, so imagine how a bike would act under those circumstances. I am still not sure to this day if that is an actual game issue or if that is an issue with entities within the game and their hitboxes. But the bottom line is, hopefully this issue has been fixed with the release of the new volume. One thing that will automatically turn a lot of people off from even using the bike is if the controls become terrible from things that are not even within the player's control. The good thing is that the bike will seem to have its own playlist besides being playable in the new game mode, so hopefully the tracks and the other bikes have been built to avoid such instances. Once again, that is just something we will have to see about. It is entirely possible that this problem goes away completely, as said before, but due to the track record of cars being released and them all having this issue, I do not think it is ludicrous to think a new vehicle may have the same issue. Now for the handling. I hope they made it so where it would not handle like a car, but won't handle like complete trash either. I think it will be a new type of feel, where the bike will feel loose when trying to maneuver, but can still feel planted at the same time when picking up speed. I also think that due to the weight and size of the bike and the power it may have, players will need to be exceptionally careful, and that could be a very good thing. This bike should not handle like a car in any way though, and why? Because it's not a car. On day one, I feel a lot of people are going to be expecting this bike to handle like a dream. Let me be the first to say that just because the thing does not feel like an R8 does not mean the handling is objectively bad. Going into this, I want every single person that watches this video to completely forget how cars handle when you finally get your hands on the bike, because a bike is not a car. Take all the immediate bias you have and put them to the side, and let's see how the bike feels without any comparisons, because remember, it doesn't have any. There are literally no other bikes or vehicles in the game it can compare to. This is all speculation, but I do think you will be able to microdrift with the bike, just not in the way you can with a car that has 4 wheels. It may be harder to maintain a microdrift, it may not be. That is something that I am super excited to find out. I do think that the basis of a vehicle's mechanics will still apply to the bike in general, because I mean, why would they not? I also do think you could probably make it more grip or more drift, but like I said before, just because it has the same surface mechanics as the cars does not make it a car. This thing may go completely straight and sideways when taking turns, or maybe they will have it kick out the back end. Truth be told, introducing a bike might have saved the game. We all know Unbound is not where it used to be with player numbers, let's be real here. The overall idea to bring something so new and insane to this game is just what it needed objectively to keep it alive for as long as possible. This is not crown talking, this is coming from a pure business perspective. If this update drops something everyone has already seen before, then it would have flatlined like every other update. What am I talking about? Drift and drag phased out, and hot pursuit phased out. For those who don't believe me, I have literal proof on stream of me playing for 5 to 6 hours straight and lobbies only having the 2 to 3 people. These updates included a new car or two, which we have had plenty of times, and new events which we have had for updates plenty of times in not just Unbound, but in other Need for Speed titles. But to add something that has never been seen before, that will bring players back that dropped the game in Volume 1. This was a very smart business practice, and even if people do end up hating the bike, you cannot deny the impact it will have on the player base. Overall, I just wanted to talk about the bike in my own type of video that was more than just screaming in a mic all excited about it. I am excited about it overall though. Just because I have different feelings about it does not take away that I am overall happy this decision was made. I do really want to know how everyone personally feels about this new addition to the game and maybe to the next game moving forward. I really want comments from all the old heads, especially those who have played the franchise for a very long time and thought you would never see the day that bikes have been brought into Need for Speed. If you enjoyed, make sure to go ahead and drop a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.